call to order the open portion of the meeting. And could I have approval of the agenda with the supplemental information? All those in favor? Carried. Okay, so the first item up for anything is B1 bylaw number 626, Fire Services Commission Delegation Bylaw 2015, bylaw 626 at third reading. Pardon me? It's, oh, sorry, is this final adoption, isn't it, Ms. Brinkley?
Council to consider adoption of bylaw numbers.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion on that? I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed?
I'm opposed.
Motion is 3-2, carried. Okay. Back to the agenda. Reports requiring action, and it's RA1 Regional Strategy Model for Economic Development. And we have minutes and a correspondence, is that correct?
Excuse me, Your Worship. We also have the delegation that came last week. If you have any questions, Dallas is here.
Perfect. Thank you. And we have the supplementary information of regional strategy. Okay. Pardon me?
For some reason, if I may, for some reason,
yes,
my machine is not downloading.
If I recall, we moved this from the last meeting to postpone a decision on the Greater Victoria Development Agency's new proposed model for regional economic development in South Vancouver Island until the next council meeting, and here we are. So, what's council's wishes? Yes,
Thank you. I went away and had some time to read more in-depthly, but I can't seem to find on mine is loaded, but I can't find the previous recommendation. It was the first year that we were looking at. Is that correct? But just so if I move a motion forward, because I support it, what is the motion I'm...
Your Worship, we were trying to pull it up, but it's actually on the agenda itself, tonight's agenda. It's embedded in the RA1. Do you have it?
Yeah, no, I've got it here on Granicus. Yeah. What page is it on? I keep flipping by.
It's on the agenda, cover agenda. Oh, on itself. Yes.
It's on the very cover page. That's the
page.
Recommendation that was brought forward previously.
Got it. Thank you. I've got it now. I didn't realize I had to go back. Thank you, Tina.
And if I may, Your Worship, that's the motion with the actual amounts in it after.
So, I'll open the mic up to council discussion. My first question is, and concern was, is that some of the feedback I've got from the public and hopefully is that is the fear of suit getting lost in this in the masses? You know, the 380,000, you know, versus our 18,000. That's that fear about supporting this. That's what the public has told me. So the fear of getting lost in the bigger picture. Okay, so we support our regional economic development, and I think you heard our comments last time. As councillors, it sounds really positive, but the public wants to hear, you know, how do we prevent getting lost in that, or what's the solution for us getting lost? Not getting lost. How's that? Yeah, go up to the mic. That'd be great. And if you could say your name and address, push that red button. That'd be perfect.
Okay, now I'm nervous. So, hi, my name is Dan Dagg, and I'm the chair of the Greater Victoria Development Agency, and I'll be the acting chair of what will be the South Vancouver Island Economic Development Agency. So there's a couple of reasons that you won't get lost in amongst the larger crowd. One is that this new model is based on one vote per municipality. So even though your financial contribution is smaller than Victoria and some of the others, you get one vote just like everybody else to help drive the strategic direction of the organization. The second rationale or reason you won't get lost is that it's our intent to work with each municipality and help evolve and develop their own economic development strategies that would be in line with their official community plans and ECDEV strategies. So I don't think you're going to get lost. You're just going to get a lot more resources put towards it.
And thank you for those comments. It's the for my own personal experiences, is I see our local chamber, really making headway and really forging along with us at the same time. So again, it's that dovetailing, our own economic development, our own businesses that are here and fighting for their survival. So I see it as a benefit. I just want to make sure that the public hears me, raise those concerns that they brought to me. So thank you. Any other councillors have questions?
I was just wondering in regards to the Chamber of Commerce. So this would not be replacing our chamber. It would be working together with our chamber and moving forward with them?
Yes, that's the case. So,
okay.
I'm good?
You're good.
Yeah, no, we have no intention of replacing your chamber. The roles are different. We're going to increase the potential for your chamber to realize economic growth and activities.
So my question is, did you have a chance to read part of a package from the Times Colonist on Wednesday, November 25th, from Denny Warner, who's the Executive Director of Saanich Peninsula Chamber of Commerce, and the little feature was following a regional approach to economic development. Did you scour that and read that? So this here article, she pretty well sums it up as to what you just said, the role of a local chamber and local business issues compared to the regional concept and regional approach. She also goes on to say that, well, what is local? We are part of a region, and actually we are shopping locally, whether, we want to admit it or not. If we go and buy something, 5 kilometers down the road or within your own community, because there is support economically for individuals that are working at those particular businesses or manufacturers of whatever it may be. Because those people might be living in your own community, and we don't know that, but they could be. So we are, in fact, supporting local. Is that a fairly good, simple analysis of what your vision is as far as the local issue is concerned?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair assessment. And, I mean, the economy doesn't recognize municipal borders. And my own personal example is I own a house. I live in Saanich. I own and run a business in the city of Victoria. I store my boat just down the road here at the industrial park, and I pay $2,400 a year to do that. So shopping and spending goes everywhere.
Right. So I just want to also get something, not 100% commitment, but I like the flavor that our chamber and our municipality can make use of the services or the professional rigor that this organization is going to bring with it, and that we can, in fact, say, look, we need a little help here on this concept. Is that correct?
Yes, I'll comment on that. So the practice of economic development is complex and not easy, and I've been the chair of this organization for a while, and I'm still barely getting up to speed. But we have a couple of really smart guys that work for us, and our intent is to make them available to local chambers and local ECDEV agents to learn from them and gain from their experience.
Right. Okay, so my last at the mic here is a comment. So from the last meeting, I indicated I fully support this because I really feel that the approach that we've taken from a local hasn't really generated, in my opinion, real nuts and bolts, hard and fast results. You know, we've spent almost $250,000, you know, with a fee-for-service contract. It's not to say that people haven't tried, but they have tried. And when I look at this and I think of the 60 to 70% of our workforce that do not work in Sooke, they're working elsewhere in the capital region. My alarm bells go off about, well, how are we going to do something to enhance those working opportunities for those people or even others that come behind them? And I guess my last comment is this. I would feel more comfortable with the bigger bang for the buck as far as the region is concerned in selling what this region offers beyond our borders. And so if it means that guess what, if you're going to decide to establish some new venture in Sooke, housing opportunities might be more affordable in Sooke than they are anywhere else. Everybody knows that. But our problem is no one's ever told that story. We haven't even told the story. And so that's our huge failing. We aren't out there actively campaigning to tell everybody, hey, you can get a better bang for the buck. It could be $200,000 to $300,000 cheaper than Saanich, for God's sake, even if you could find a piece of dirt with a brand new house on it. Or you come to Sooke. And the same thing with Langford. You're going to save $80,000 to $100,000 between Sooke and Langford, and it's 19 kilometers away, and you don't have a traffic light. No, by the way, your taxes are cheaper. So I look at this in a huge, big picture context. I just want to make sure that our community gets sold as a package with the things that we want to be selling and what we want to promote about what we're all about. And I think that's the fear that some people have, is that those kind of messages are going to get lost. And personally, I don't think they are, because people come here no matter what. And the public who do come here, and even businesses, they're not stupid. They want to make sure that they have a well-trained workforce, educated workforce, that the workforce has a reasonable place for cost to live, otherwise they're not going to have workers, and that they don't have to go through a nightmare to drive from A to B, and that there's all these other factors. And if this organization can help create the atmosphere to make it better for all of us, I'm 100% behind it. And I think the costs associated for this, for Sooke to be involved, is cheap. It's actually dirt cheap, because we couldn't begin to pay for those costs with our own bucks to get that message out. And that's why I'm excited about it, because I think that this thing, if it's going to last 5 years, I think we'll see some real results, because that's how long it takes. You can't do this overnight. We've tried for 10, just about 10. We're entering into a 10th year with a contract, and I haven't seen any real results. And I'm not being critical. It's just a fact. And I've seen $250,000. Just, I don't know where it went. And it kind of bothers me. So I feel more comfortable doing this. So do you need a motion, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, just Councillor Loggins have a hand up first, so I guess I'll take a motion after that. Councillor Loggins.
All right, so I'm glad that you guys are trying. Thanks for coming out here to help me out with this, because I am struggling with it, I'm not going to lie. Your model proposes growth outside of Sooke. Not saying it's a bad thing, definitely a good thing. I think it's great. However, I don't see the difference between us buying in or not being part of it. The only thing that I see is that if we give you money, we're essentially paying for a consulting service for our local Chamber of Commerce, which it sounds like, based on what Councillor Casper has said, that we may end up cutting funding to that. So it's kind of a threat to our local economy in that sense. So that's my biggest concern. And I also want to know, have you approached a chamber and spoken to them? Because it sounds like you're willing to help them, but have they asked for help? Do they want it? Do they know that you guys are available?
I'll do my best to comment on a few of those things. So we have reached out to the Chamber on it through a number of different ways. So the Chamber was present at the very first discussion in which a regional model was discussed amongst the 13 mayors. A colleague of mine, Travis Butler, is on the Chamber, and I have spoken with him, and he's very supportive and passed that message on to the Chamber. And I would look at this sort of consulting piece as a very small part of it. What you want to think about is leveraging dollars and what you would be able to do with the dollars you have now versus what we can do as a larger community. So we're going to take this money and we're going to lever it into $9 million worth of economic development activity over a 5-year period. So it's no wonder that we haven't been effective, because we've been doing it municipality by municipality, and really with the money that we've been spending by municipality, all you can do is hire a staff, and then you got no budget to go out there and do anything. And Victoria experienced that earlier on. And so we're way better together, right? And that's what will happen if we all collaborate, if we focus on the greater good of the region. We all, as individual municipalities, as residents, and as employees, will benefit.
I feel, sorry, just to comment on that, I feel like we would still see that trickle-down effect from that $9 million that you would, like whether we invest or not, I feel like Sooke is in that unique position that we would benefit anyway from this. So why would we put a threat in front of our Chamber of Commerce?
So, to be honest, if you don't contribute, I think you're going to benefit anyways. Do you know what? If we grow the whole regional economy, your economy is going to grow as well. Will it grow as much as those that are participating strategically, that have a voice in what we do? No, I don't think so. And I don't think that it could be a minor threat to your Chamber of Commerce, but if we increase the economy as a whole, if we increase the strength and the robustness of the businesses within here, then it will be fine.
Thank you. That does help.
Councillor Parkinson?
I was just curious what we would see after we participate, like in a year's time, what you're projecting to kind of happen.
So there's a number of things. This whole thing is moving really quickly, so you know. So we've already created an interim society, and we've begun the development of a 5-year economic development strategy, which is going to include stakeholder dialogue, industry sector dialogue, and development of plans that will help all of the different municipalities. We're going to start applying for provincial and federal project grants as early as January. We'll have offices and a staff and an organization running by April 1st of 2016. And when will you be able to measure and see quantifiable results? Well, we have 3 different measurement criteria, right? And they're all quantifiable. It's the increase in number of jobs in targeted sectors. It's an increase in median household income. And it's an increase in federal and provincial money that we're able to bring here. So I think the first sign that you're going to see is the increase in federal and provincial money that we can bring in here. Economic development doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take a bit of time, but we've got some strategies that we'll execute, and by the end of year one, you'll see some results. And then if you're not happy, so I'm a business guy, we set this up like a business model. If we're not delivering for you, opt out.
Right. And who all sits on the committee? Is it one person from each municipality?
Yes, so there will be one designate from each municipality. The First Nations that participate will all get one designate. And then on the private sector side, private sector industries and associations that contribute a minimum of $20,000 a year will get one seat, one vote at the table.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll just add to that we have $360,000 in private sector funding lined up over the next 18 months, all ready to go, contingent on 7 municipalities out of the 13 participating. And just so you know, we have 6 right now. You folks have the opportunity tonight to be number 7, to make the deciding vote that launches this organization that will change the future of our region.
Wow, that's a big statement of all. No, and one thing I wanted to just bring up too, and also to remind our council of, is that our Sooke Chamber is supportive of a regional group. I mean, in the letter that they have included in our package, it states that they're broadly supportive of economic development activities within our community. Obviously, they don't think replace it, but they do say that an economic development plan could benefit and add additional resources and initiatives at our regional level, and that would work for Sooke. I've been a part of regional working groups before, and lots of times when we sit at the meetings, and I know other people on the table have, they show the map, and we're talking about regional housing or regional transit, and Sooke's not even on the map. Like, we're cut off, like our town is not even there. So in the first presentation you guys brought forward, not only was Sooke physically on the map, but there were targets and bullets that were showing initiatives and telemarketers that you had already recognized that are within our community. So having our current chamber support, showing that you've identified that we are a viable community and already have targets listing towards Sooke, I also agree, and I think that the public and private stakeholder piece for me is huge. And when you brought that up last time, and then more research I did on that, I think that adds a great benefit to our municipality. And as I said earlier, economic development is really an initiative that should be done regionally, because, you know, if one town prospers, it doesn't have borders. It doesn't know borders, right? So if a town is prospering, the neighboring town is also going to see some benefit as well. So did you already move the motion?
No.
I'll move the recommended motion.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion from the council? So I will call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried.
We're number 7.
So that ticket history was made here.
History was made. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for your presentation.
Excuse me, Your Worship, the one part of that motion was to appoint a council member to the Funding Partners Council, or that's correct, Funding Partners
I
Council?
would move Bev Berker be council rep, as she had been our council rep on previous regional economic development strategies and discussions with the ministry, jobs, training, skills development.
Okay, I'll second that motion. I'll second the motion. But do you need a motion for that, Ms. Franklin? Yes. Okay, or is it included in that motion?
No, the motion was that council appoint person, so this is not your motion to
Okay.
appoint.
So we have a mover and a seconder. Any further discussion?
Yeah, and if I could just speak to it, I think it's important because Councillor Berger, through her family contacts in the construction industry, they work throughout the region. And I get it. My son works throughout the region as a plumber, working for the mayor's son. So we understand that they go where the jobs are. And, you know, we think that's critical. You know, and that's why we have intermunicipal business licenses that cover 60-something trades. And I think it's important to have somebody there who understands. That's somebody who understands it, so. Actually, I think my voice is loud enough.
Thank you. Okay, so
Again, thank you very much. December 11th is the first date, and we'll make sure it's 1 till 4, I think. Oh. Not her. You can't have her eggnog, though.
different than what we asked for?
If it's not in camera, is that what you're asking me?
Yes, not in
If it's
camera.
not in camera, you, Your Worship, you need to make a motion to bring something forward to this meeting, but you also have to make a motion to waive notice of a special.
No, what I'll do is then I'll wait because
It's not a hard motion. If it's carried unanimously, you can have that discussion.
yeah, no, I just think that
It's,
I don't know how to bring it up. It's to do with what you and I talked about earlier today. So would that be,
I'm sorry, we talked about several things, so I'm trying to remember.
okay.
It's
So
very
so
simple
what's the
motion.
process for me bringing it up? Do I just say, okay, I want to talk about this?
If you have I'd like to add something to the agenda, that's one thing, you've made that statement.
Yes, I would like to
And,
add something to the agenda.
Okay, so that's Councillor Pearson, or sorry, Acting Mayor
Yes.
Pearson would like to add something to the agenda. So council would have to waive notice of that item on the agenda.
So now do I have to tell them what the item is?
No, still we could just say that. You need to make, someone needs to make a motion that you're waiving notice of the item that is going to be presented on
I
this
can't
agenda.
even give them a hint if it's important.
Yes, you can, if you want.
Okay. Okay. Second. Okay. So all those in favor of me bringing a new item to the table to talk about tonight? Right now. Okay. So we've unanimously done it. Okay. So the item is that with our mayor being on leave, we do not have a director on the CRD board. We have our alternate attending the board. So we need to have, in my opinion, we need to have a director appointed until Maya comes back, and then we need to have an alternate because there's no provision for an alternate. Right. So if Councillor Casper, who is the alternate, couldn't attend something, then we don't have an alternate to sit on the CRD board. And I think it's critical that our municipality has somebody on the board. So there's also maybe not a sense of urgency, because I did ask Councillor Casper if he could attend the December 9th meeting, which is a inaugural meeting for the CRD because they do their annual appointments. Is that right? Okay.
That's correct. The ones that came forward from us are the regional housing, C-Park, that sort of thing.
So I think it's critical that we appoint a director and an alternate. And can we do that tonight, or?
Yes,
Okay.
you can, Your Worship.
Okay. So I will like to hear from councillors, what they think. Councillor Loggins.
Just talking from the seat of my pants here, but if Councillor Casper is willing to be the appointed member, and then it's just because he has that history and would be able to carry things through, that's as far as my thought process goes.
So are you making a motion to that?
Sure.
They'll second that. Okay.
And I will accept that.
Okay. Well, we have to have a vote on it.
Well, she asked the question if I will leave.
If you're willing. Okay. Okay. So is that correct? Have we done that right, Ms. Sprinkling? Okay. So any further discussion on that? All those in favor? Does it have to be unanimous or just, okay. So, Okay, so next, now we need to have another discussion. Who could be potentially the alternate? Councillor Loggins.
Would you be willing to do that?
My problem is I can't commit to it during the month of December. After December, I can, but it's for me. I know there's only one meeting in December, but no, I wouldn't be willing because of my work schedule.
Yes. Okay.
Because as the role of the alternate, it's a drop of a hat. You'd have to go right in December. Okay. So, Councillor Berger.
And the CRD meetings are Wednesday during the day, right?
Right.
Okay, well, I'm super lucky that I work from home, so I can make my own schedule. So I don't mind being the alternate in that I could always rearrange my own office, so I could go to someone else's office.
Okay. So,
Well, I would move that recommendation that Councillor Berger be the alternate director for the CRD board.
okay. I would second that. Okay. So, any further discussion? Hearing none. Call the question. All those in favor? Unanimous. So, Ms. Sprinkling, have we satisfied the CRD now?
That's correct.
Yep.
And if Councillor Casper wants to speak first.
Yeah, there is one more because we have actually two separate boards. There's the Capital Regional Hospital Board also, and so we would need a motion to cover off that one too because they are two separate legal entities.
Yes.
Would they just be mere resolutions here?
Yes, it would be mere resolutions with the insertion of the hospital board because that's what we do at our inaugural meeting anyway because they're done that way.
Okay.
So I'll move that
You mirror.
that Councillor Casper and Councillor Berger be appointed the directors and alternate directors of the Capital Regional Hospital Board.
Okay, I'll second that. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Call the question. All those in favor? Carried. Ms. Sprinkling, you're looking at me like I have something else to do.
No, I just wanted to let you know I'll get those off to the board right away so
Yes.
that perhaps it can get on the 9th
Yes.
agenda.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Ms. Sprinkling, and thank you for stick handling me through that today. Well, our mayor's on leave now, right? So we have to take care of some business as our mayor's on leave. There may be other things that will come up, and hopefully it's in January when I'm gone. No other business tonight. I would take a motion to adjourn. Seconded by Councillor Parkinson. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you.